This video will show you how to assemble the RadExpand 5 Plus. Photograph all 4 sides of the box and the label with the serial numbers. Make note of any damage to the box and keep these photos for your records. Use flat side cutters to remove any packing strips. Turn the plastic handle tabs on the outside of the box to remove them, and then remove the box top. Locate the owner's manual and quick reference card. Keep these nearby for reference during the assembly. Locate the accessory box that contains the keys, charger, bicycle grease, Velcro strap for securing the bike when folded, and the assembly toolkit. The assembly toolkit contains a variety of tools to help with assembly, but don't worry if you end up not using some of the tools. You'll also need a pair of flat side cutters, a bike floor pump with a Schrader valve and pressure gauge, and a torque wrench with a set of Allen bits. Remove the packaging, including the bottom tray, and recycle according to local rules, or save the packaging if you might need to ship your bike in the future. Unfold the bike by grasping the front of the frame and carefully unfold it in a clockwise motion until the hinge pieces meet just in front of where the pedal arms are located. Secure the frame hinge folding mechanism by hooking the frame hinge lock around the hinge. Then, push the quick release lever toward the frame and release the locking clasp to secure in place. Put the kickstand down for the rest of the assembly. Secure the stem riser folding mechanism by rotating the stem riser up until the hinge closes. Then, folding the stem clasp release lever up and press into the stem until the release lever clicks into place. Use a 4mm Allen wrench to remove the stem faceplate and hardware, and set aside. Hold the handlebar up on the stem with the brake levers facing forward and the throttle on the rider's right side. Trace the brake cable on the rider's left side to ensure it runs straight down, and make sure the wiring harness is not twisted. Center the handlebar on the stem. Install the 4 bolts by hand and use the Allen wrench to tighten part way in an X pattern until the handlebar is just tight enough that you can adjust its angle. Adjust the handlebar so it is roughly parallel with the front fork. Ensure the gap between the faceplate and the stem is evenly spaced and the bolts are tightened evenly. Use a torque wrench to torque all 4 bolts in an X pattern to the value listed in your owner's manual. Ensure the color display is connected by lining up the internal notch and pins with the external arrows and press directly together without twisting. Then, twist the metal portions until the connector is secure. Ensure the headlight connector is plugged in by lining up the internal notch and pins with the external arrows and press directly together without twisting. Find the pedals and identify which is the right and left pedal by the sticker on the pedal or the markings on the pedal axle. Apply a pea-size amount of bicycle grease to the threaded portion of each pedal axle. The right pedal has a smooth axle and threads onto the drivetrain side of the bike. Carefully thread the right pedal by hand onto the right crank by turning clockwise toward the front of the bike. Be careful not to cross-thread or damage the threads. The left pedal has grooves on the axle and threads onto the left side of the bike. Carefully thread the left pedal by hand onto the left crank by turning counterclockwise, also toward the front of the bike. Once the pedals are fully threaded onto the cranks, use the torque wrench with a crowfoot bit to tighten to the value listed in your owner's manual. Wipe off any excess grease. To fold the pedals for moving or storing the bike, press the pedal end directly toward the crank and then fold. Be careful to keep fingers and clothing away from the folding parts and potential pinch points. Always ensure the pedals are locked in the unfolded position before each ride. Next, we'll inflate the tires. Check that the tire beads and tires are damage-free and evenly seated around the rims. For more information about seating tires and tubes, refer to your owner's manual. Use a floor pump with a Schrader valve and pressure gauge to inflate each tire to the recommended PSI indicated on the tire sidewall. Do not overinflate or underinflate tires. Open the seat post quick release lever and remove the seat post. Adjust the clamp so it's centered over the notch on the seat tube. Apply a small amount of grease to the bottom of the seat post and install the seat post. Be sure the minimum insertion marking is completely inside the seat tube. Adjust the seat post up or down to a comfortable height. Tighten the adjustment thumb nut on the clamp with the lever in line halfway closed. When you feel resistance, close the lever fully, which should require enough pressure to leave an imprint in your hand. The seat post should not move once the lever is closed. Perform a handlebar twist test by standing at the front of the bike and bracing the front wheel between your feet and lower legs. Hold both handlebar grips and push forward with one hand while pulling back with the other hand. Push and pull with about 20 pounds of force with each hand. Check that the handlebar doesn't move out of alignment with the wheel. Then, switch hands so the opposite hands are pushing and pulling with about 20 pounds of force. If the handlebar and stem rotate out of alignment with the front wheel, check the tightness of your stem clamp bolts and tighten if necessary. Next, perform a handlebar push test by bracing your front wheel against a wall and mounting the bike. Adjust the seat height so you can sit with your feet on the ground and hands on the handlebar. Squeeze the brake lever and push the handlebar toward the wall with about 100 pounds of force. If the handlebar rotates inside the stem, you will need to realign the handlebar and retighten the stem faceplate bolts. Be sure to torque them to the value listed in your owner's manual. Check the bike's chain alignment by standing on the right side of the bike and rotating the right pedal and crank toward the back of the bike slowly, as if you were pedaling backwards. Verify the chain moves through the drivetrain smoothly. Locate the keys from the accessory box. Insert in the battery and turn to the on position, and then remove the key. Never ride the bike with the key in the battery. Press the power button on the remote to power on the bike. Once the e-bike powers up and the color display is on, there are some things you might want to configure before your first ride. Hold the menu button down on the remote to enter the Menu Options screen. Press the down button to navigate to the Class menu, where you can switch between motor class settings. Press the menu button to confirm your selection, and then return to the menu options. Your selection will default the next time your e-bike is powered on. Refer to your owner's manual or visit the Rad Power Bikes Help Center to learn more about the different motor class settings available on your e-bike. Before riding, check that all hardware on the bike is torqued to the values listed in the owner's manual. Refer to the owner's manual for instructions on how to adjust components on the bike for comfort and safety. If you're assembling the bike for someone else, be sure to attach the rider quick reference card to the handlebar. We recommend getting a tune-up from a local professional, reputable bike mechanic within the first 50 to 100 miles of riding. Follow the maintenance schedule in your owner's manual. Work through the safety checklist in the owner's manual and test the bike fully before riding. Never let anyone operate this bike unless they are at least 16 years old and have read the operating instructions detailed in the owner's manual. The age requirement for e-bikes may be older than 16 in your area. Check your local laws and rules for the areas you intend to ride. Whenever you ride, wear closed-toe shoes, comfortable clothing, and of course, a helmet. Make sure you can be seen by others on the road by wearing bright and reflective clothing, and ensuring your headlight and taillight are always on and visible to others. E-bike disc brakes may wear out faster than would be the case for non-motorized bicycles, requiring more service. Make sure to inspect brake components before every ride, and follow the maintenance intervals listed in your owner's manual. Like all vehicles, e-bikes need to be checked regularly to ensure nothing will jeopardize your safety or the safety of those around you. Follow all safety instructions and checklists in the owner's manual. The latest update to the owner's manual for your Rad bike is always available on our website at radpowerbikes.com/help. Make it a habit to thoroughly check your bike before every ride. Reach out to our product support team if you have any questions, and ride Rad.